Do you ever have so many questions and no one to ask, so they're just wasting away on Google searches you'll forget about in an hour or so?
We had that same problem, and that's why we created the RD2BE podcast, a resource for dietetic and nutrition students looking for answers that their peers don't have.
We are students Macy and Emily and registered dietitian Carl Barnes. We engage in conversations and learn from RDs.
Join us weekly as we gain insight into the unique journeys of registered dietitians all over the country.
Welcome back to another episode of the RD2BE podcast. I'm your newest host, Jenna, and this week we're going to be talking about the upcoming Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics election starting in February. And right now I'm going to talk to Carl, who is not only running for the Academy elections, but he is also the founder of RD2BE. And so, Carl, what specifically is the purpose of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics election?
Awesome. I'm excited to talk a little bit about this. So each year, the Academy, which is the professional organization representing nutrition professionals, DTRs, nutrition students, and dietitians, holds its elections for the various volunteer positions for their leadership roles. So the elections will be open on February 1st. They run till the 15th. And as we'll talk more about the different positions that people are running for, there's an entire different categories of all the different positions that are being run for from top to bottom, as far as the leadership from the board of directors, president, treasurer, all the way to the affiliates and all the subgroups and practice groups.
And why are you specifically running for a position under the Academy?
I've been fortunate to be involved with the Academy for most of my professional career. I started right around the time I became a dietetic intern and really found a passion for giving back at the national level. I've moved around a lot in my career, so I never really was in one state for any given period of time. So being able to work at the national level and work with other awesome dietitians and nutrition professionals wanting to give back was a big inspiration. I've been involved with the Academy in various leadership roles for a while. So this was kind of the next opportunity that made sense.
Awesome. And aside from giving back to the profession and kind of digging a little bit deeper on that, what change do you specifically want to make towards the profession with the position that you're running for?
So I know a lot of people hear of some of the main keywords and areas for improvement within the profession, inclusion, access, and diversity, among others. But I truly believe those are some very important topics for us to be addressing, and a lot of what I've given my time and efforts to over the past couple of years. So really focusing on bringing my expertise and my experience to the board and amplifying voices and others, that making sure that we are moving in the right direction and striving for a profession that is both growing internally and externally, and being a more representative body for both those as members as well as those we serve in the general population.
Awesome. And I understand as a student myself that multiple undergraduate nutrition students, when they think of this Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics campaign, they kind of think of it as being oriented towards just registered dietitians or people already in the professional field. But already with the stuff that you mentioned about, moving us forward, students are involved in that too. But just kind of focusing on that a little bit, why should nutrition and dietetic students particularly care about this campaign?
That's a great point, great question. So that goes entirely into why I'm so involved with students and why I stay engaged and love working with students, because students are the future of the profession. They're the present of the profession. And even though you're not practicing dietitians at the moment or NDTRs, you are going to be holding those positions. You are going to be the practicing dietitian or nutrition professional in the near future. Therefore, your opinion matters just as much as anyone else's at this current time. And you guys are a major force for seeing change enacted.
Yeah, awesome. And I completely agree with students being the face of the future and how your position that you're running for can help guide those students in the right direction towards making a difference. And so at least me as a student, when it comes to looking on the Academy website, it can be a little daunting navigating or trying to figure out how exactly to vote, how exactly to contribute towards the campaign. And so, how can students vote for the Academy campaign and also the certain resources that they can find through the Academy about the election or just about resources in general?
So any student that's a Academy member will have the ability to vote, and all the information is on the Academy website. So eatrightpro.org or eatright.org. You take a couple more steps if you go the latter way. All of the candidates for every position have biographies there, a truncated list of experiences and jobs. So it's almost like a mini resume, and little short videos for a lot of the positions as well. So there's a lot of resources out there for you to get to know who's running, get to know a little bit more about the positions themselves. There's a lot of hyperlinks out to the roles and the responsibilities of each position. And it's just a great, even if you are a brand new member, a freshman, or a the first year being an Academy member as a student, it's a great way to kind of get an understanding of the organizational structure and get an understanding of all of the different leadership roles that are out there and all of the different ways that there's leaders out there working on your behalf or working to seek your input and be able to contribute that voice that they may be looking to hear from.
Absolutely. And the exposure, especially as students that early on, like going towards the website, voting for the campaign, it's awesome exposure into the leadership, not only the leadership structure in the Academy, but also the leadership opportunities that students can look towards or also find other leadership resources that they can find for themselves so that they can start early in their nutrition career. Because at least from what I've learned with watching this election and how it'll unfold in February, that it's never too late to start your leadership career, especially as a nutrition and dietetics student. And so, Carl, what can students look for information about you, what you're running for, and kind of your truncated, as you had said, resume, and where they can find more information about you?
So I'll paraphrase a little bit, but all of my information is on my website, rdcarl.com. I'm also fairly active on LinkedIn. A lot of my information is there as well. But in short, I've been a dietitian. Most of my time was spent in the Army as a registered dietitian. I've worked for myself for the past year and change. The biggest project, or the biggest passion project, at least, of which was RD2BE, also a private practice and doing food service consulting. So I wear a great many hats, have a lot of passions, and I've held various leadership roles from committees, the member services advisory committee, involved with the scholarship committee, and working with RD2Bs, of course, but combining all of my passions and interests and experiences from wanting to mentor, bringing people together, and listening to voices from every background, and being able to bring people together for the better, and actually make things happen is really how I like to look at what I do and what I've done. So bringing all that to the table and bringing a fresh perspective to the board, and being able to work with all these other great professionals and be at the table and have a say.
Absolutely. And especially the like taking action and actually making progress towards things that people in the profession want to do. And so thank you so much for talking about your position that you're running for, about the campaign. I hope that a bunch of students and just people and members of the Academy have found this useful. And yeah, thank you so much for talking about your position.
Awesome. Appreciate it. And for all those listening, if you're a member, make sure, regardless of who you're voting for, you're going to vote on February 1st, and the elections will close on the 15th of February.